What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another Total Warhammer video for you guys today. And here we are on the snowy peaks, getting ready to face down the mighty Lizardmen. We are here playing as the Vampire Coast, and our opponent Hewitts is playing as the Lizardmen, his favorite go-to race. Now let's go over the army real quick. Now our front line at the moment consists of 3 groups of zombie pirate gunnery mobs with the ROR, the black spot, in the center, as well as a gunnery white, just to provide that extra missile damage as well as the extra ammunition and whatnot. We then have the Gallows Giant, the Necrofex Colossal, so this is the flamethrower one, so the anti-infantry is really good at clearing down chaff and just really any infantry units. Now in the center here we have a carronade. We're like, he's going Lizardman, surely there's going to be some large targets. I'm sure these guys will pay for themselves. So we grab the carronade. We don't actually grab any mortars or Queen Besses. We're just like, let's run with these 2 for now. I think that'll be enough. We then have behind all our range stuff, we've got 3 groups of depth guard with polearms, I think. Yep, because we're like anti-large dinosaurs. He'll be bringing them. So we've got 3 groups of the polearm and then 2 groups of the standard variant. Now out here on the flanks we've got 2 groups of Mongols, so we've got 1 group here and we've got another group over here, as well as 2 groups of scurvy dogs, just in case he brought any backline pressure. So like Ancient Sallies, these guys are going to be diving on those guys straight away. Now for my opponent's army, he's got quite a large army. There's a lot of units here. So he's got 4 groups of red-crested skinks here, you can see lined up through the middle. He's got 3 groups of Saurus spears intermixed with the red-crested skinks, a group of Croxagors, a Saurus Scar veteran on a Carnosaur, as well as Tehena one on the Ancient Stegodon with the Engine of the Gods, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's got Engine of the Gods. He then also has 2 groups of Ancient Salamanders, and that is pretty much it for my opponent's army. Oh, actually, I stand corrected. He also has 3 groups of the Ricopodactyl Riders, which we actually forget about. Like, we don't even see those. So, guys, without further ado, let's get this battle underway. So, we're like, alright, let's get these guys up and around. We see the Sallies. We're like, we need to get them in range, and he's just going to get bombarded as soon as he gets into range of our guns. Our carronade's opening fire on Tehena one, or actually no, it's the Salamanders that it's going on. But we do pop the enchanted ballistics, from our gunnery white, giving 20 reload skilled and 60 accuracy for our gun units. So actually it doesn't hit our flanked ones, I didn't realize. It only hits the black spot and the Gallows Giant as well as the carronade. These guys were a little bit far out, but you can see the damage that they are doing as they offload. And here comes a big fat juicy flamethrower straight down the middle of these little red-crested skinks and ancient salamanders. Sorry, salamander hunting pack. You almost feel sorry for them. And just like that, those little dudes are broken off. But you can see here our gunnery whites are firing off, and there goes another blast into the red-crested skinks. We do decide to move our infantry forward to try and intercept them so they don't do too much damage to our gun line. Damage gets taken, but we're like, it's nothing too substantial. Depth guard with polearms and move them down here to intercept the Saurus Scar veteran. Now, funny thing here, we kind of forget about our scurvy dogs and our Mongols and scurvy dogs out here and kind of just leave them there by accident. So we forget to bring those guys in, but we do pop all hands ahoy, giving ourselves missile damage as well as armor piercing. Yeah, armor piercing, missile damage, and leadership. So that's just to hold that central pocket. But you can see here the Saurus Scar veteran does get into another group of our handguns. We've still got the black spot online, which is by far the biggest threat here in our line, as well as the Gallows Giant, I feel. And just like that, another juicy flamethrower pops in. We do pop the Spearfish's Net, giving negative 27 melee defense. We move all our units, well, our Depth Guard and Aranessa, into here to fight Tehena one, just to deal that damage, because that net does so much damage. It holds him in place and everything. And here come my opponent's Ripodactyl Riders. We didn't even see these guys back there. We didn't have anyone deployed back there to sort of scout out or anything like that. But we do move our scurvy dogs in onto the Salamander hunting pack. But he does bring his Croxagors in, and they are ready to just smash some depth guard. And you can see here that these Ripodactyl Riders are tearing through our gun line. But for my opponent, he still hasn't targeted the black spot. So these guys are sitting at 55 kills. They're popping off. They're taking out Tehena one. And you can see here that Tehena one is broken. He's dying. Aranessa is such a great duelist. She is ready to kill things, even on her crab. She is more formidable, I think, on foot. But we brought her on crab just for that extra sort of mass, so she doesn't get pushed over by the big dinos. And you can see here my opponent has pretty much won this flank here. But Tehena one does go down. Gets taken out by the Carronade, I believe. The Carronade's still online. Nope, that's under attack. But this central pocket right here, this is our anchor right now. My opponent has not targeted this whatsoever. And you can see here we've got some scurvy dogs chasing off stuff. Got a group of scurvy dogs over here still sitting there. And the Mongols are coming in as well. They are ready to just wacky hand on some dudes. And you can see here that everyone is just breaking off from the Lizardmen. Once the Henawan has gone down, it's pretty much game over for the Lizardmen. They had taken pretty heavy army losses. Feral Manticore does come into the mix, but you can see here our Gunnery White is just popping off on him. He's just shooting into this guy. Our Black Spot turn and fire into the Ripidactyl Riders, and you can see that they did suffer a huge chunk of damage. Feral Manticore's coming down to land on Aranessa. Big mistake, because Aranessa is going to teach that boy a lesson about dueling. And you can see here that majority of my opponent's army has broken off, but they are coming back. They did waver, and now they are coming back. The Saurus Scar Veteran's still online. A couple of groups of Ripidactyls still online as well. But once again, this central pocket is still strong and holding. Gallows Giant still full health. Aranessa pretty much on full health. She might as well be. There's no leader on the enemy. The Saurus Scar Veteran is coming in, but he's not going to do much damage. We do pop the Spearfish's Net onto my opponent, and he's just going to take a heap of damage. The Crab, the Depth Guard coming in. He can't move. Poor Saurus Scar Veteran is just about to go down. Aranessa is teaching this boy a lesson with her Crab. Look at that. She doesn't even need to use her spear. She's got the Crab for that. And this boy is about to go down. He's just... I think they actually start routing. Yeah, there you go. There you can see they're shattered now. So that is pretty much it. These guys are shattering very slowly. And there he goes. Just to teach my opponent a lesson. I'm like, let's finish him off. Only reason the end of the game hasn't kicked in yet is because the Feral Manticore is still flapping up there, because he is a summon. He can't actually suffer from leadership penalties, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much over for my opponent. But yeah, that was a pretty good match. It was interesting. I did enjoy myself on that one. My opponent, he didn't really do too good for himself in that one. Our Black Spot, our Depth Guard, heavily paying for themselves twice over. You can see here that the zombie gunnery, the Black Spot, sorry, got 68 kills. Now, they would have gotten more if I didn't have them targeting to Henawan and the big targets, but that's what they're there for. They do have armor piercing, so they were really detrimental to our victory. And you can see here, we only lost 480 units. Pretty proud of myself with that one. Ripidactyl Riders coming in, though. I feel like they were the real MVP for my opponent. I didn't even notice those guys, and if they were targeting all three groups of our handgunners, they would have probably shut them down a lot quicker, and they probably could have won that match, because he only targeted really the weak infantry groups, and I feel like if he shut down the Black Spot, he would have won that one. Carronade, I don't know how much damage he actually did, but he was pretty good against Tehenawan and the Salamanders in the opening shots. And you can see here the Gallows Giant, he was just going to town on those red-crested skinks. They were getting shut down. And then obviously the Depth Guard were easily paying for themselves going up against the red-crested skinks. They would have shred through their armor, shred through their units. There weren't too many Saurus units, so they didn't really pose much of a threat to the Depth Guard. And the Gunnery White, I feel like, was a good pick as well. But guys, that's going to wrap up the video today. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.